alaikum, everyone. I'm going to talk to Muslimahs specifically right now. As we all know, there's been a lot over the past decade, actually. There's a lot of anti-Muslim violence that has been going on, and certainly as of late, in light of, different things that have been going on all around the world, in France and, Texas, and, things of that nature. And I am old enough to have lived through and remember quite vividly things that happened post 9/11. And I lived right in New Jersey, very, very close to where the Twin Towers were. And so I remember that back then, just like now, primary targets of anti-Muslim violence was and is Muslims, Muslim women. And so this video here is just touching on ways that we can protect ourselves when we're out in the streets, us as well as our children. Again, people have been attacking Muslim women in the streets. Now with internet being so huge in society, and information tends to float around far more than it did post 9/11. So there has been documentation of things happening. I'm not just like talking as some sort of conspiracy theorist today. But Muslims have been being attacked in the streets again, and believe that the few that have been brought to can't get my thoughts right. The few that have been put out there for public knowledge, there's far more going on. You know it, and I know it too. And I refuse to be anyone's victim, and I want to encourage other of you who may not, have been here long in this country, or it don't even have to be America. I just happen to be in America. But maybe sometimes people are afraid to fight back because, these people can be really scary out here. Things that they do. I even saw on one of the social media sites, I think it was connected to an actual, like a reputable newspaper, because I always look at that when I click on these things that float around Facebook and such. But a girl in 6th grade, I think it was, over in New York, was beat up by some boys who were calling her terrorist and stuff and trying to rip off her kimar. And if that don't scare you, nothing will. It's trickled down to the children, attacking our children, which again was going on anyway, because I remember after 9/11, some of the babies were being jumped and beat up at school and things. Where I lived over in East Orange, New Jersey, and also North New Jersey. And again, I don't know about you, but I don't do victim too well. It's not my thing. I don't appreciate being attacked or being afraid of being attacked. So anyway, I thought that I would make this video and just put some things out there, which some of you may already know to do, some of you may not, and just kind of doing my part. So where should I start? I remember that after 9/11, people were in a panic, talking about the Muslim community were in a panic, because I remember Muslims coming out of their kimars and everything, not covering. They were trying to hide the fact that they were Muslim, because these people who are attacking us, they don't bother the men. One, because oftentimes you can't tell that a Muslim man is a Muslim man. They don't, they just look like everybody else, even with the beards. I can't tell you how many times I've given a non-Muslim salam and they give me this confused look because they look Muslim so far as I can tell with the big old beards and everything. But so oftentimes Muslim men are not recognizable. They don't fit the whole Arab stereotype that these foolish people, they think only Arabs are Muslim or Muslims only look Arabish. I don't know. And also, of course, no one's going to step to a man, because if you're a punk, you're going to mess with the person that you think is the weakest, so they don't bother the men. And with us women having to be out in the world working and, caregiving and all other sorts of things that we do, we're under attack. So after 9/11, some of the masjids, they had like these community meetings where they called everybody, all the Muslims from the community into the masjid, and we talked, strategizing how to protect ourselves out in the streets. And so I'm going to pass some of those things on, as well as a few others. First and foremost, because the babies are extremely important, I'm just going to touch on that real fast, that be mindful. We are sending our children out there to the non-Muslims. Alhamdulillah, I don't have to do that anymore, but there was a time, for a couple of years, I did. So I understand all the emotions that, can go through you when you're in a position where you have to do that. If you do not have to do that, I would kind of coax you, I guess, to make a situation where they don't have to. Just because it's tradition to send your children out to schools don't mean you have to do it. It's just tradition. And it's been made a thing for a reason. But if you can leave your children at home and school them yourselves or anything, I would, again, urge you to do that, because their health and their safety is at risk, period. Not it may be, or it is at risk. And when we do that, we have to be mindful. They have to have a way. If they live, I don't care if they work, go to school 5 miles from home or 5 minutes from home, they still have to get through that area and that space and time before they can get to the safety of their home. Therefore, they have to have a safe haven. So, what I remember, we were told to make a way, start making plans. The same way that you make like an escape plan if there's going to be, in case there's a fire or, whatever else goes on. If you live in an earthquake area, you make a plan for evacuation. You have to make a plan for your children to have a safe haven. So, whatever their route is to home, if you don't know anyone yet, then start tapping your resources. There may be someone at the masjid who you see all the time, and they live somewhere between your home and your child's school. Make it where your child knows to go to that person if they need to. That is okay to, Sister Amina or whoever. You can go to their home if something is wrong, and we will come and get you. Also, nowadays, everybody has a cell phone, it seems. Now, I have a little girl who, she's too young to have a cell phone. Alhamdulillah, she don't have to, because I homeschool. I'm able to homeschool. But if she was out in the world, then I would have to make it, okay for her to have a cell phone or some sort of way that she can get to me at all times. So I would encourage you to, even if it's a little $10 track phone, Get a phone for your child and make it clear it's for emergencies only, because they need to have a way to get to you, and they need to feel safe. We are their protectors. Allah is the protector, of course, but Allah put us in their lives and sent them to us so that we could take care of them while they're here on this plane, on this earth. And so that's our job. So you have to make a way to let those babies feel safe if we're going to be sending them out there with the non-Muslims, people that we know don't like them. So that's with that. Another thing I can remember us kind of chuckling at one of the meetings I went to, because we had to be told as women, as mothers, we had to be told that if something goes down, you have to protect yourself first. Why? Because if you're down, your children are definitely not going to be protected. Your family is not going to be protected. So we have to remember to take care of ourselves first. So far as us, when we're out in the street, there are many things that we can do, just like, anyone else. They have classes and things for women to try to protect ourselves from rape and getting robbed and stuff when we're out there in the street. The same thing is for us. There's pepper spray. A lot of people like to have mace. I remember long ago seeing on Oprah, one of those shows that were teaching women self-defense tactics. The guy on there said that mace is not the thing, because mace will not stop somebody who may be drunk or high on drugs. I found that really interesting, because I have been when I was younger, I remember somebody spraying some mace, and it was horrible. It didn't hit me, it was just in the area, and it was horrible. But according to the guy, mace will not stop everybody. That pepper spray is the thing to get. I don't know if it's true or accurate or not. However, get the pepper spray. Get some self-defense classes so that you can protect yourself. Oftentimes, the people who are attacking, they are not women, they are men attacking women, because, as I said earlier, they're a bunch of punks. And that is not an opinion, that is a fact. Who else, what other man would step to a woman and try to hurt a woman? But, so yeah, getting some self-defense lessons will help a great deal. If you live in an area, in a state where you can get a gun license easily, and you can get a carrying permit easily, I would encourage you to do so. Of course, you want to be certain that you know how to use a gun. So I would also say what goes hand in hand with that is to take shooting lessons, because you don't want to hurt anyone unnecessarily, and you certainly don't want to hurt yourself. But while I'm a lover of peace and all that kind of thing, I'm also a lover of life. So if it comes down to you or me, it's going to be me, if I can at all help it. And I mean, that's just human nature. That's how Allah created us. Again, I don't do victim. I don't do victim. I've been victimized in the past when I was a young girl, and that will not happen to me again, inshallah. At least I'm going to try my very best to avoid it. And I encourage you to do the same. I think that society as a whole make women somehow believe in our unconscious mind or subconscious mind that we are weaker, and that almost like it's okay even for us to be attacked and hurt and stuff, and like, oh, I'm just gonna fall down and I'm gonna be a victim. And I'm gonna keep using that word victim because it's true. Like I don't know what else to call it. But and certainly as Muslim women, the world has been fed this lie that we're weak, we don't have a voice, and basically, we could just be punked and mushed in the head, like shut up, do this, do that, and we're just gonna bow down to it. Not true. You have to protect yourself so you can protect your family. Another thing I would say, make sure you have some sort of weaponry on you. For instance, I know a lot of us women, we like to wear the kimar pins, the long scarf pins. That can be a weapon right there. There's many things that can be weapons. You can go on YouTube and see. There's the bottom line is, don't be out here in these streets without protection. You can make dua all you want, but Allah gave us good sense to, as the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam used to say, tie your camel. You can't just sit around praying all the time and not doing anything, to try to make your situation better. So anyway, that's that. I'm losing focus, and inshallah, everything will be fine.